One couple who will not be featured on the tell-all is Tiger Lily and Adnan. Okay, let's get started. My first question is...
Hello, my wet socks. I just got back from Tel Aviv, where I underwent re-education training. Come, meet my trad wife. Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day today. Thank you so much for showing so much love on our last video. It was electric. The comments were just chef's kiss, and I had a fun time reading a lot of your comments. If you watch 90 Day Fiancé, especially the Happily Ever After tell-all, you are aware that Tiger Lily and Adnan were not shown. They were actually edited out, and we can see that because Shaboody posted a picture showing that Adnan and Tiger Lily were filming with the rest of the cast. They were in a remote location, they had their camera set up, and they were edited out, censored from the tell-all because they stood up for the people that are suffering in Gaza.
And here's the truth. Israel seeks peace. Israel yearns for peace. Israel has made peace and will make peace again.
So Loren and Alexei, the cast members that support Israel, were allowed to remain in the footage, the final product, even though they're not as entertaining as Adnan and Tiger Lily. And we can see that by how they had to stick them with two other couples. I saw in my last video, a bunch of people were saying things like, well, good riddance, Tiger Lily and Adnan are annoying. Of course, there's a lot of cast members that are annoying, and you cannot like them as people. You could disagree with what they have to say. But we have freedom of speech in this country. A lot of you guys don't know this about me because I try not to talk about myself that much. I want to make the focus the cast members. But my family on my father's side has been in the United States since the 17th century. My ancestor, Butler, fought in the Revolutionary War. There are so many brave men that risked their life so that we could have our First Amendment rights, so we can have freedom of speech, so we can get to know each other and understand the root of the problems, understand what divides us. We can't have those conversations. We can't have transparency if people are blacklisted, their livelihoods are ruined, they're called anti-Semites, yada, yada, yada. It's just not fair. Not to mention these days, what does it mean to be called an anti-Semite? Because I saw a clip the other day of Ted Cruz, the Christian Zionist, that is Israel's biggest fan, #1 supporter in the Senate, or so he claims. He said that the question that student asked about the USS Liberty was anti-Semitic. It's not anti-Semitic to seek an understanding. Before we continue reviewing this Dogwater TV show, I'd like to tell you about today's video sponsor, Vina. And if this is the first time you're hearing about Vina, they offer the highest quality CBD and THC products to help elevate mood, ease everyday stress, and support restful sleep. I've been really enjoying Vina's Extra Bliss gummies. They are their strongest gummy that they have produced and the perfect thing for taking the edge off after a long day at work. Like I've said numerous times in the past, sometimes these reality TV creatures get me so irritated I turn into Hades mid-freak out. Now, I take one of these gummies and within 30 minutes I start to feel myself be very calm, very zen, and I no longer want to scream at these people that I've never met. Not only do they genuinely taste good, but they're only 10 calories and 2 grams of sugar, so it's like a treat that helps my mood and doesn't throw off my routine. And the best part is you can try Vina for free by clicking the link in the bio of today's video. You just have to pay for your own shipping and be over 21 years old. Now, let's get back to reviewing this reality TV trash.
A week or two later, there was another event with Eric and Laura Trump at Auburn University. A kid got up and said, I can do even better, and asked such an anti-Semitic question. It was filled with lies. Every word of the question was a lie, including and, but, and thee.
Israel has not been a great ally to the U.S. all the way since 1960 when they bombed the USS Liberty. Israel is a nation where Christians are constantly under attack in both Gaza and the West Bank. We talk about America first and defending Christians. But how can we do this if we align ourselves with a nation that does not do that itself?
In the 1967 attack on the USS Liberty by Israeli forces, 34 American service members and a civilian were killed.
Gotcha.
You're just going to classify that as anti-Semitic? It's not anti-Semitic to be knowledgeable about history and ask truthful questions. because that really did happen. You can Google it. We all have this access to information. And I think that's the problem with the Zionist movement, is they were so used to our information being censored. The veil has lifted. It is masked off for Bibi Netanyahu, the wanted war criminal.
אני מאשימה אותך בנימין נתניהו במימון החמאס, בבניית הטרור, ועצימת העיניים האיום הקיומי עלינו.
It's mask off for Ben Shapiro, a man that feels like if we can't afford living in the United States, we should leave. It's not guaranteed that we have a right to be here as American citizens, as natural-born citizens. Even if you immigrate to the United States of America, there needs to be this sense of camaraderie. And when I see so many people talking about America first, I'm America only. I'm at the point where I don't want to send foreign aid to anybody. We got so many problems here. And when I see that the network is resorting to censorship, to omitting Adnan and Tiger Lily's opinion about the atrocities that have been committed in Gaza, it strikes a very interesting chord in me. Because don't you find it interesting that Alexei and Loren were allowed to remain on the tell-all? It's blatant favoritism. It's not okay. They have actually been speaking to the masses for years, defending Israel, trying to convince our citizens to back Israel no matter what.
Guys, recent unprecedented attacks on Israel by Iran only highlights the huge threat that Iran poses to the world in general, to the free world. Iran has proxies in all different places. In Gaza, of course, in Yemen, in Syria, Lebanon, and all of them are working to destabilize the area and the world in general.
Side note, and then we're going to revisit this. Adnan and Tiger Lily shouted out our video. They enjoyed the last video that we had. So let me show you guys what he said. He said on Instagram, he did great video, watch it to the end. And then Tiger Lily said, he said a lot of things in this video, some hard to hear, some overdue. But most importantly, he told the truth, the kind of truth that doesn't go viral because it challenges the narrative, the kind that takes guts to say out loud, especially now. It's 40 minutes long and it's worth every minute. This isn't a defense, it's a reveal. Oh, and yes, he poked fun at my name like it was made up and joked about my voice too. For the record, my kids gave me that name, and as a Native American woman, it's not exactly out of place, but honestly, I'll take the jokes if it means this message gets heard. What a reasonable response. She could have easily said that I was a bit of an asshole. I appreciate this because she took it like a champ, but you know who doesn't take things like a champ is Loren. Can we be honest about it? This is an entitled Zionist.
This whole thing is so upsetting. And what upsets me so much is that all these people who didn't care for a year and a half, all of a sudden care now. Like, that's what infuriates me. People were saying, oh, Loren, you're a Zionist, this and that. You don't care about other babies. Of course I care. I'm a fucking human. I'm a mother. I'm a person. But everybody who didn't care because Jews deserve it and Israelis deserve it all of a sudden care. If you didn't care before, don't say anything now because you don't deserve to say anything now. And one more thing. Yes, I'm twitching, and yes, I'm sick again. But when the whole Kanye thing happened, what did you hear? Oh, that's what you heard. Silence. Nothing. Crickets. And now all of a sudden, people care. Interesting. Huh? Because now this is so much bigger than Israel. It's about anti-Semitism and Jews just being freaking targets. So it's okay for Kanye West to say something. And nobody speaks up. But the Bebas babies are murdered. Not died. Murdered. And all of a sudden people care. If you didn't care for the last year and a half, sit down and shut up.
So the narrative went out. It was a surprise attack. There was no real context. There were Hamas butchers. They killed 1,400 people or 1,200. There was no context. Israel could do whatever it liked in order to implement its right of self-defense.
Israel has a right to defend itself.
Israel must have that, does have that right to defend herself.
All of those talking points are wrong. There was a context, the context of 1948, the dispossession of the Palestinians, the context of 1967, the context of the occupation, 2007, the context of the blockade, and then all the conflicts that happened since then. The idea that Israel has the right of self-defense. According to the 2004 legal opinion of the ICJ, occupied people cannot be attacked. The occupying power has an obligation to protect them. And yet here was Israel destroying, blowing them up, doing all these terrible things to them. The idea that it was a butchery by Hamas. People don't report much on the Hannibal directive. And this is a directive that comes, it's an IDF directive that they put to their soldiers. Haaretz, the newspaper in Israel, has reported, has investigated this. There were at least 3 areas where the Hannibal directive was invoked. Helicopters came in and simply destroyed anyone that was trying to get back into Gaza. That included Israeli soldiers, Israeli hostages, and Hamas and others from Gaza. So there were charred bodies, cars completely blown to smithereens. We don't know how much of that was Hamas and how much of that was the Israeli army. We simply don't know. And yet we accept this narrative that there were these terrorists who came over and butchered 1,400 people. So, as I say, the Israeli talking points are either wrong or simply unsubstantiated. And yet that was the narrative which has taken hold.
For greater Israel, for expansion, and the American taxpayers have been financing these genocides in the Middle East for the past 30 plus years. Our foreign policy is dictated by the Israeli government, and a lot of people have woken up to that uncomfortable truth, and we're starting to have more open dialogue about it, or at least some of us are. Other people don't want to talk about it. That's okay. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I've seen a couple comments in our last video saying things like, I'm sick of these religious conflicts. These are not religious conflicts. You know, let's think about it like this. So years ago, I went with my family to Namibia. And while we were touring the oldest desert in the world, along the way, our tour guide pointed out that China owns this mine and that mine. You wouldn't believe the amount of wealth and mines and natural resources that China owns around the world, especially in Africa. They go down there and they're very smart about how they do it. They buy all these natural resources. And right away, I was thinking to myself, why don't we own that? America, the greatest nation in the world, the most powerful nation in the world. That's what I was taught at a young age. Why are they beating us? You know, I'm insanely competitive, so that's how I'm thinking. Now, another perspective would be, hey, Nick, you colonizer, you know, why are you thinking that way? The mines, this asset that's in the country of Namibia should be going to the people of Namibia. And that's another perspective. The people that are the movers and shakers, the people that are in charge, that are behind the Zionist movement, the people that are really in control would think about it like this. Why don't I own that mine? What kind of conflicts are going on in this region? Do the Muslims hate the Christians? How do we exploit that? How do I get my hands on that mine? It's about control. It's not about religion. It's never been about religion. The citizens that are actually religious, like me and you and, you know, most of the people watching this video, even if you're not religious, I mean, we all have a, you know, moral code, ethics, and the majority of Jewish people that are actually real Jewish people recognize that the creation of Israel violates the Ten Commandments.
The Israeli state claims to represent all Jews and is committing a genocide in Gaza in the name of all Jews. Israel has the Star of David on its tanks, on its planes, while it is killing women and children in Gaza. It's stirring up anti-Semitism all the time. But as the son of a Holocaust survivor, I do know something about anti-Semitism, and I take it very, very seriously. I think it's so important that Jewish people speak out against what Israel is doing.
It is creating more anti-Semitism in the world, true anti-Semitism, not this weak anti-Semitism claim that so many Zionists throw anyone's way when they're offered the slight hint of criticism of any form.
If you didn't care for the last year and a half, sit down and shut up.
And hell, she's got me trying to dodge the virtue signaling. I don't agree with the messaging at all. You know, in the United States of America and many countries in the world, a lot of information is censored to a degree, and there's a lot of people that aren't very knowledgeable about this conflict. There's a lot of people that won't take an hour out of their day to watch a video on the history of the creation of Israel. There's plenty of videos that go into detail and explain how this land was seized away from the people that live there and have lived there for a very long time. You can do your independent research and look into it. What I don't appreciate is Loren trying to virtue signal and guilt trip everyone into backing Israel and going along with whatever Israel wants to do. Her husband does it too. And to make matters worse about Alexei is he says, I'm just a guy. I'll play the clip in a second, but you're not just a guy, Alexei. You're a former IDF soldier.
I decided to record this video today to share my thoughts on the whole humanitarian aid situation in Gaza. I think it is a very, very important subject, and I don't think a lot of people really know what's going on. So first and foremost, I just want to say that I'm an ordinary guy who's just sharing his thoughts and his beliefs with you. With that said, number one, the amount of humanitarian aid that's allowed to go into Gaza is not limited, as long as it's humanitarian aid only. The fact is actually that Israel is constantly actively looking for safer, better ways to deliver this aid.
Oh, you're just a guy, a former IDF soldier, an organization that was first formed with terrorists. You can look it up. It's crazy to me that you're just going to say, I'm just a guy. You're not just a guy, okay? That needs to be disclosed that you're a former IDF soldier. It is very irresponsible and outright deceitful to not bring that up. Because you're not just a guy. You're not just a guy from another country that's building a life here in the United States of America with your family. You're someone that has dual loyalty. You make me sick because my ancestors didn't fight and die so that we could be subservient to a nation of Zionists on the other side of the fucking world. I don't even know if Tiger Lily and Adnan got paid or not. Their time's valuable. This used to be the learning channel, and now it's the loser channel. They push all these open relationships on us and all this propaganda. This used to be a show about two couples going back to back and building a beautiful life together here in the United States or in a country abroad. A lot of people watch this show in order to learn more about other countries, other cultures. You know, we find it fascinating. And it's becoming less and less about that and more about shock value. Why is it that Jasmine Panetta is allowed to assault whoever she wants multiple times and get away with it, yet Tiger Lily and Adnan bring up Gaza and the atrocities that are happening to the people there, and they're just cut out? Adnan commented this: "Free Palestine, keep crying." Talking his shit. That's so funny. So in response to this, Loren messaged the reality TV mess on Instagram and said, "This is so inappropriate and unfair. I know you have to keep stuff going, but shame on him. Unless he was personally affected, he needs to shut up and sit down. He's also Jordanian. They are an ally of Israel. So what does that say? Anti-Semitic much?" Anti-Semitic much. Okay, I'm going to pop off about that, but she also said, "This was also commented on a video I did sharing about the Bebas babies." So virtue signaling, guilt tripping, there's nothing anti-Semitic about saying free Palestine, keep crying. That's not anti-Semitic. What's more anti-Semitic, Loren, commenting free Palestine or killing Semitic people in Gaza? He's also Jordanian. They are an ally of Israel. So what does that say? Why do you think that Israel and Jordan are allies? Because the United States backs Israel. If the United States stops supporting Israel, the list of grudges is so long that so many countries would wage war on Israel like that. Every country hates Israel. The only reason why countries back Israel is because the United States backs Israel.